Hey guys, Eerie is here. I hope you're all well and thank you for joining me here on the channel for another video. If this is your first time here and you like watching all sorts of sim racing related stuff, then subscribe now and click the bell icon as well so you get notified of every video I upload and you don't miss a thing. So you join me here today on the parade lap for this race here on iRacing. Now this video is going to be more of an introductory type video. I want to use the free gaming time to turn my attention to something I should have done a long time ago, and that is fixing my iRating. Now I'm aware that iRacing is a new game to a lot of you and some of you may not be familiar with it all, so there's lots to explain here as we get this race underway in the background. So firstly, let's address the elephant in the room. What is going on with Gran Turismo Sport on the channel? Now, I'm not going to get into it too much, but as I've alluded to in my live streams recently, I am not happy with it. I make videos on my experiences, warts and all as you know, which have currently sort of manifested themselves into all being about penalty issues or dirty drivers, because that is what the game has become of late. And that is what all the videos were becoming on the channel, and I didn't like the way it was going. So I'm pressing pause on the game right now, and my aspirations are getting to the top split until at least the end of stage 1 of the manufacturers series, which is the end of April, and then I will reassess. Now, following the threat of a boycott by the top players and a lot of the community, Polyphony have actually updated the penalty system, but the jury's out on how effective that has been, and my issues go way deeper than just the penalty system. So as I say, I am out at least until the end of April. So enough of the misery that is GT Sport right now, but I just wanted to touch on it because I felt it was important to update you all on that, because it's a big part of the channel obviously, but for now let's get involved in the video at hand. So this is iRacing, widely regarded as the ultimate racing simulator out there. Used by the likes of Max Verstappen, Lando Norris and many other professional racers from many series of motorsport all over the world. And what I want to do here is up my iRating, and iRating is the barometer of how good a driver you are on this platform in a nutshell. And to give you an idea for a reference on what other people who you will recognise as iRating is, Super GT is 2000, Key is 3,500 and Jimmy Broadbent is 4,300. Now Lando and Max are 5,500 and 7,500 respectively. So that gives you a good idea of how other people are doing in terms of iRating. Now my iRating is at this very moment in time as I do this race 1,263. So a far cry away from all those that I mentioned earlier. So firstly I'm going to try and hunt down Steve aka Super GT and get to the 2k milestone. It's kind of like a beginner to winner series for iRacing, and this will be delivered through a series of videos just like this one, full race videos and live streams, so we're mixing it up to bring you on this journey. And now the context has been given, let's go. Oh, and by the way, if you've got any questions at all, let me know in the comment section down below, and myself or any member of the community will I'm sure help you out. So true to form then, let's introduce the race. This is the IMSA series, which is a 45-minute multi-class race made up of GTEs and GT3s. Due to the level of the split here and how low it is, there are only GTEs in this one. We're in the BMW M8. You won't be able to see it, but I'm forced into this cockpit view, which is one thing I like about iRacing, so you'll have to trust me on that one. And we'll need to make one stop in this race. Now we won't be changing tyres, but there'll be some fuel required, which I will be getting automatically topped up using a separate program called Crew Chief, who is also the person you'll be hearing being the spotter for me. Moving on to the heads up display, I'll just talk you through those quickly. In the top left you've got the standings, so you've got from left to right, you've got in white you've got the position that the cars are in, you've then in blue got the door number, so how high a driver is in relation to the other drivers in the lobby, then obviously the name. The next thing you can see there is the manufacturer's icon showing what car they're in, and then finally, well not finally, you've got how high or low sort of position movements in the race, so you can see I am +7 at the moment, signified by an up green arrow, and then the number 7 there, and then finally now we have the last lap time that you did. So they're the standings. In the bottom right you've got what we call the relative. So top left you've got the track temperature there showing 38 degrees Celsius. In the middle you've got how many laps we've done and how many are expected to be done come the end of the time limit. So this one's a 45-minute race, so the game thinks that we're going to do about 54.91 laps, so it gives you a good indicator of where we are. Next to that you've got how many incident points that we've got, so there's a maximum of 25 before you get disqualified. I'll talk you through that another time, but it's much more stringent than many other games. So that's the top row. You've then again got the standings, so it's in a bit of a sort of jumble at the moment, but that's because where positions are of cars on track. You've then got the door number again, the name, and then you've got your iRating. So you can see there that my iRating is 1.2 and I'm due to go up 70 if I finish in this position. And then finally you've got the split on that row, so it's showing you how far I am, or the delta as I like to refer to it. Then in the bottom left you've got the strength of field, so that's what SOF stands for, so it's 1.1k, so that's the average driver rating of everybody in the lobby, so pretty damn low at this point. And then finally you've got how much longer is left in the race, so we've got 17 minutes and about 20 seconds of the 45-minute race. So that is everything in terms of the heads-up display, so there's a lot going on there, and this is another third-party program called RaceLab apps, but these really help inform you guys about the race. Now finally, before we get back to the race, let's talk about those changes in the bottom left, and probably the ones that stood out most of all to you guys. Now this is the first video you would have seen with my new wheel and direct drive base. The new wheel that you can see there is an iRacing F64 USB, so real top-notch stuff, and the same as Jimmy Broadbent uses, I believe. And then sitting behind that, you can't quite see it, but the wheelbase is a Simicube 2 Ultimate. Now again, real top line stuff that I really don't quite deserve, and it's that wheelbase has got a peak torque of 35 Newton meters, and to put it into perspective, the Logitech G29 has under 10, so it's a serious bit of kit. The pedals, as you can see, are still Fanatec for now, but there's something going on there and I will let you know about it later on. These will change to Huizenville sprints for all future iRacing content very shortly. Now, full disclaimer, I am very lucky to be given all of this, so I want to take a moment to thank everybody at iRacing, Granite Devices who provided the Simicube 2 Ultimate, and Huizenville for their support. Links to all the new gear is in the description, obviously, down below. Now, I think that covers everything. It's time to get back to the racing and ensure I start driving at the level of the equipment that I now have, because currently it's an all the gear, no idea situation going on here. So whilst I've been chatting, this is what I absolutely love about iRacing. In the background we've been keeping it clean, staying out of trouble, avoiding traffic, and it has paid dividends here as we've been making our way up through the field. So you would have seen that we overtook somebody a couple of laps ago as they crashed into traffic. Traffic is an absolute key to success here on iRacing, because there's no ghosts or anything like that. It's a full sim. You know, if the cars don't get out of the way, then there's a good chance that you can get wrecked, and that's it. And then you've got full damage on this, so it's the last thing that you want to do. So we're currently running in third. We were up in second. Oh, as I almost lose it there, so that's how easy it is that you can lose it. So we were in second, but that's because the car in front pitted a bit earlier. I guess there was a traffic situation or something like that, and we're going to come across the line here to take a podium. Now I am really happy with that. You can see their crew chief just confirming the checker flag, and we're just going to, another thing, we're going to do this, which is our in lap. So not only have we got a pre-race formation lap, completely manual, not only do you have to put on the pit limiter and then drive into your pit box, stop there, drive out, try not to spin, and then release the pit limiter on the way out, you also can do your warm down lap. I absolutely love this, and it just goes to show exactly what I want from a sim. absolute simulation. And at the moment, Gran Turismo Sport just doesn't have that, unfortunately. So I am not going to be playing any GT Sport or doing any videos on it until they sort it out. I mean, I know my views are going to take a hit. Some people may even leave the channel because of it, but I feel it's really important to take a stand and make sure that these developers listen to what us, the community, needs. I mean, Accesso Corsa Competizione and iRacing have official forums linked to their website, and I really do think Polyphony Digital are missing a trick, and we must stand up for what we deserve, which is to be listened to and to not have the game ruined. And for now, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. We also have merch too, so go check out the Teespring store below and go get yourself some of that if you want to support the channel that way. But thanks again so much for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.